be critical.
Thank you for joining us today, and I hope to see you again at our future events.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Affinity Lunchtime Lecture, the second in the Alan Knight Lecture Series. And my name is Cathy Egea. I'm a Senior Lecturer at UTS and a member of the Advisory Board for Affinity. Alan likewise, Alan Knight, my late husband, was a former member of that same group and inspired by these good people. For those who've never attended an Affinity event before, let me briefly introduce you to the organisation. Affinity was formed by a group of young Muslims Australians in 2000. Their aim and our aim in Affinity is to promote multiculturalism and foster intercultural and interfaith dialogue by building bridges between different groups of people in society. But to give you a brief idea of the work we do, the Affinity group has put together a short video of the Parliament dinner, the Iftar Parliament Friendship and Dialogue Iftar dinner that happened this year.
There are so many high calibre people attending here, and I'm sure a lot of you have sort of met each other and looked around the room. To begin our program, I'd like to call on Walangari Kantawara to present the acknowledgement of country.
Ramadan Mubarak. I would like to acknowledge the Aboriginal First Nations people of the Sydney area, the Eora Nation.
Learn one new thing tonight and take that away and tell someone else.
This blessed month of Ramadan is a great chance for all of us to come together in peace and harmony. Thank you for not letting hate or fear and division infiltrate New South Wales. And on behalf of the New South Wales Government, I'd just like to wish you a blessed Ramadan. Thank you.
Amit and your executive committee and your volunteers and your sponsors and the many people, you're the only one that I know that can be able to bring everyone together, and you do a fantastic job. So I'm very, very happy to be here co-hosting with Minister Sidoti.
And our final host for this evening is Amit Polat. Now, I would hazard a guess that about half of you in this room would say you're Amit's cousin.
I greet you with the Islamic greetings of Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Ramadan Mubarak to all of you. I have impatiently been waiting for tonight to share my DNA results. It appears that I am from all 6 continents in the world. What a delightful Turkish delight. I'm linked to all humanity. So tonight, standing in front of you, I can proudly say, you are my only cousins, uncles, aunties.
On behalf of the Advisory Board of Affinity Intercultural Foundation, I welcome you all to this warm and inclusive friendship and dialogue iftar dinner.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
On behalf of the Consulate General of Sri Lanka in Sydney, I would like to thank Affinity Intercultural Foundation for inviting to the New South Wales Parliament Friendship and Dialogue Ramadan to start today.
على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون.
The power of sport, when used to give a voice to the voiceless, strength to the downtrodden, and rights to the persecuted, is extraordinary. It can truly and evidently challenge governments, monarchies, and anything in between. Yes, I feel a part of this great country, and I feel welcomed and respected, just like Hakeem.
Hi everyone,
I would like to thank Ahmed to invite me here, and Ramadan Mubarak to everyone.
Now this is Ahmet's holding up a top, which has been a jersey signed by Hakan for you, Craig, and on it the message says, "To my brother Craig, who strives to help his fellow football players at difficult times and shows an example to the football community that freedom and human values may be bigger than football."
But we owe it to the victims of these attacks to work together to find the cure. And it seems to me that a good place to start is right here in this room to help us break down walls by breaking bread together. Ramadan Mubarak.
This year, the recipients of the first award are Sean Rubenstein Dunlop, investigative reporter at the ABC, and Lucy Carter, researcher at Four Corners ABC, for their incredible work on the Four Corners episode, which was called Under the Radar. This followed the Christchurch terror attacks, which claimed the lives of 50 people.
The most important thing, I believe, it focused on building relationships with people in our region, and their relationships of mutual respect and friendship. And we discover that our lives have purpose and meaning, and its purpose is wanting and working so that others may flourish. Friends, Ramadan Kareem.
Whether that be cultural diversity, religion, gender, disability, Indigenous, income, age, geography, or socio-economic backgrounds, the media can and should play a role in stimulating positive and balanced discussion on issues related to all of these, including Ramadan, that many Australians we know partake in.
A night like this is not possible without dozens of local businesses and individuals funding many of Affinity's programs and events. Would like to thank those sponsors now and present to them some tokens.
But it doesn't matter how well we do or don't do, it is that spirit of Ramadan, a tradition of self-reflection, of gratitude, forgiveness, respect, understanding. All the speakers before me have mentioned elements of that, and this is where Ramadan is beautiful. It is that spiritual connection. And as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. And with that in mind, I'd like to thank everyone for attending this evening. It is through the shared meaning, purpose, and experience that the bonds of friendship, understanding, and unity are forged. Ramadan Mubarak. Good evening to you.
I think you can see the great organisation. And they do build bridges, they build dialogue, education, and service is part of their approach. So today, we're welcoming a number of guests, and Ros Lawson is going to facilitate our session today, and I'll introduce you to Roslyn. Rosalind has a long history with the ABC and radio and television, starting back in 1975 on a news group for the Double J radio station. She was part of that youth radio group. She has since been awarded international awards for her work as a producer, director, writer and researcher of the ABC, of TV programs such as Quantum, Play School. She's written in both those areas, quite diverse. She's produced radio programs on Australian writers, social histories of Australian families, bush youth, bush schools, youth issues amongst many. In the late 90s, though, she moved into education and gained a Masters of Teaching and developed an online journalism course in TAFE in 2000. Following a brush with cancer, she moved into another role. This was consumer health advocacy in a national capacity to ensure the needs of Australians, today's Australians from many diverse social and cultural backgrounds are understood. And in her spare time, she's writing a memoir, moving beyond journalism to creative non-fiction. Please join me in welcoming Ros to the lectern. Thank you.